Hello everybody, I am Brian Mullins the Fox. Welcome to episode 2 of this series. We're going to cover the 2010s, 2011 to 2020 when it comes to ham consumption and waste when it comes to Christmas dinner in Australia. Let's get straight to the math. Here's the Australian population for the decade I'm covering in this episode. In 2011, the number of pigs that were slaughtered in the month of December of that year, 1,170,500. The number of Australians served ham as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, 3,193,862. The number of hams in individual roast units that were consumed in Australia for this Christmas, 362,939, and the ham consumption ratio, 362,939 out of 585,250 equals 62%. For 2012, the number of pigs slaughtered in the month of December of that year, 1,198,100. The number of Australians served ham as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, 3,247,038. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia for the Christmas of 2012, 368,982. And the ham consumption ratio for the Christmas of 2012 in Australia, 368,982 out of 599,050 equals 61.6%. In 2013, the number of pigs slaughtered in December of that year in Australia, 1,169,800. The number of Australians served ham as centerpiece, 3,301,683. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia, 375,191. And the ham consumption ratio, 376,191 out of 584,900 equals 64.3%. The number of pigs slaughtered in December of 2014, 1,200,300. The number of Australians served ham as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, 3,352,797. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia for the Christmas of 2014, 381,000. And the ham consumption ratio, 381,000 out of 614,566 equals 62%. For 2015, the number of pigs slaughtered in December of that year, 1,229,133. The number of Australians served ham as centerpiece, 3,402,891. And the number of hams in individual roast units that were consumed for the Christmas of 2015 in Australia, 386,692. And the ham consumption ratio, 386,692 out of 614,566 equals 63%. For 2016, the number of pigs slaughtered in December of that year in Australia, 1,279,504. The number of Australians served ham as centerpiece, 3,456,529. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia, 392,787. And the ham consumption ratio, 392,787 out of 639,752 equals 61.4%. In 2017, the number of pigs slaughtered in December of that year in Australia, 1,339,226. The number of Australians served ham as centerpiece, 3,512,905. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, 399,194. And the ham consumption ratio, 399,194 out of 669,613 equals 59.6%. In 2018, the number of pigs slaughtered in December of that year, 1,359,511. The number of Australians served ham as the centerpiece of their Christmas dinners, 3,568,461. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, 405,507. And the ham consumption ratio, 406,507 out of 679,755 equals 59.8%. In 2019, the number of pigs slaughtered in December of that year, 1,263,000. The number of Australians served ham as centerpiece, 3,622,453. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, 411,642. And the ham consumption ratio, 411,642 out of 631,500 equals 65.2%. And finally in 2020, the number of pigs slaughtered in December of that year in Australia, 1,383,300. The number of Australians served ham as centerpiece, 3,667,150. The number of hams in individual roast units consumed in Australia, 416,722. And ham consumption ratio, 415,722 out of 691,650 equals 60.1%. Now let's get to ham waste in individual units. 2011, 222,311. 2012, 230,068. 2013, 208,709. 2014, 233,566. 2015, 227,874. 2016, 246,965. 2017, 270,419. 2018, 273,248. 2019, 219,858. And 2020, 275,928. And finally, to end this episode, consumption to waste ratio for ham in Australia as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner. 2011, 62% to 38%. 2012, 61.6% to 38.4%. 2013, 64.3% to 35.7%. 2014, 62% to 38%. 2015, 63% to 37%. 2016, 61.4% to 38.6%. 2017, 59.6% to 40.4%. 2018, 59.8% to 40.2%. 2019, 65.2% to 34.8%. And for 2020, 60.1% to 39.9%. And the average consumption waste ratio for this centerpiece meat in Australia, for this purpose, 61.9% to 38.1%. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. See you in the next episode where we just cover the last few years, 2021 to 23. See ya then.